Welcome back. This is Fresh, aka Blue Phoenix. It's getting darker outside, so the glow of the monitor is becoming more and more important here. Yes. So in the last tutorial, we left off with the bass. In this tutorial, we'll be making Subbass. So we're going to be using the Diva synth for this, which may be my favorite synth right now. I'm not sure. He makes a lot of great synths. What can I say? We'll make this a little bit bigger so we can see what we're doing. And I like that the reflection in my glasses is now red. Make sure you load that Frig E324.tune file for micro tuning and turn it on. And we're actually going to go ahead and lock these. So if we change patches, it won't undo that, which is nice. If we go to the patches area and go to templates, we're actually going to program this from scratch. And I started with the init June 60. I just picked one. Truth is, I don't know a whole lot about vintage synths, but I do know that this seemed like a good place to start. A few more things here. We're going to turn on multi-core. It depends. If you don't have multi-cores, then you need to buy a new computer. But anyway, set the accuracy to draft. This will make your CPU not kill you. And set the offline accuracy to best. So when you go to render the track, it's going to use the best models it can. But when you're just playing it in your DAW, it's going to use some math that's a little less intense, and maybe help it keep up a little bit. And most importantly here, we need to change our LED color to orange. You don't have to. I'm just saying. I like orange bases. What can I say? So we're gonna program in just a really basic, super duper basic. Whoa, no. Yeah, there we go. That bass. Let's go with E1. Diva, go away for a little bit. Thank you. Okay. Yes, give me this one. Okay. Let's try something here. Dat bass. Alright, solo. That's a tiny Diva. I can't see what I'm doing. Okay, so Diva takes up a lot of real estate. I just have bad eyesight, so I really need the biggest plugins I can. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and bring up this note again to E1. I'm actually going to drop it in here to 16. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we can do quite a bit of stuff here. Trying to look over my notes here, my reference diagram. So one thing I changed was this, instead of just having a sawtooth, this is kind of a saw pulse thingy. There's a little bit more of a bite to it. I think I left the sub here on this particular thing. And let's see here. Yeah, so at this octave, that sub is actually going to be kind of, you hear it sounds kind of wacky. We'll just leave that off for now. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, boost. Sounds good. We're going to leave this in rough mode. I don't know, let's try clean. Can't tell a difference yet. It might matter later, but let's bring this down because it does have too much upper end, truthfully. We want this to kind of underline the track, not be too super prevalent. Get some res here. I'm not hearing that make much of a difference. Let's see here. Just kind of looking at my notes here. So I had this envelope 2 set. I'm not sure why. I'm just going to leave that where it is for now, because the envelope 2 isn't modifying anything. We don't really want it to. It's a long sustained note. But what I'm going to do is take this LFO, and we're going to have the LFO kind of modulate that cutoff so that over time you're going to have this kind of come in and out. Let's accentuate this. Let's put this on sync. I don't know what's the deal here. It's not doing anything. Sync. Sideways. Oh, I know why. So the mod wheel is probably off all the way, and this is saying we only want the LFO if the mod wheel is up. So we'll turn that off. Okay. Whoa. Let's sync it to. Let's try 4-1. Wow. Oh, okay. Put that back to the default. Okay, that's a bit much, so let's just kind of, we don't want it to be too prevalent. It's one thing that will kind of get you here with Diva. The controls are a little bit touchy. She's a bit touchy. Let's try some stack. Ooh, I made her mad. Ooh. It's probably too, to maybe randomize these. The cool thing about Diva is you'll notice these little lights lighting up with each press. So it cycles through these different settings for detune, which makes every note sound a little bit different, which is nice. It's what you want. Okay. On top of all this, I added a phaser. So we'll go ahead and do a phaser here. Mess with this some. So that's probably a bit too wet, but we'll feedback down some. Go ahead, sync on. Yeah. Let me set our phase up. Okay, but I think that's too wet. We'll want some of the original. Yeah, so that stack is creating kind of a weird effect. This is not detuned enough. Sounds like it's restarting with each press. There's probably a way to fix this. Yeah, I'm not so sure. I like the stack, but it is causing kind of a... the restart is on gate, right? Is that the problem? I'm not sure how to fix that. Maybe that's not a setting in Diva. Let's see how it sounds with everything else. Oops. You'll notice this is the volume is varying quite a bit, so I'm going to go ahead and throw a compressor on that, just kind of calm that down. That'll basically kind of bring the peaks down. Very. Just making it louder. Do that. Let's output up just a little. Yowzer. That's too much. And let's drop it down 3 in total. That sounds pretty good. Yeah, that sounded pretty good. Diva is an amazing synth. I highly recommend it. You can see how in a short amount of time we got a pretty good sounding sub bass. Sub bass. I'll go ahead and make that orange as well. That sounds pretty good. I think what I'm going to do here is go ahead and add a low pass filter, or we can, let's see here. What am I saying? I want to be able to adjust the filter cutoff. So we'll just, you hit configure and click on this. Sadly, Diva doesn't have any like performance knobs. It's really trying to emulate a classic synth, I guess. Plus, there's just no room left on the GUI. So, yeah. So just hit configure and then click on that cutoff frequency. And now we do. Let's group these together, and then remember we're on 105. Sounds really good. So map this. This is cutoff, and let's adjust the range for this knob. Okay, I can't hear anything, so just bring that min up until you start hearing something. That's pretty good. Now remember that LFO is on there too. Set the knob to the max. Is that okay? That sounds pretty good. So we had it at 105. That's kind of our default. So we'll just put it back there at 105. And let's just EQ this real fast. One thing to keep in mind, because we did the voice stacking, we might actually have some stereo effect here. And we don't want that. So, so we'll take our EQ8 and put it in mid-side mode. And go to the side. And just do a ×4 cutoff. It's 24 dB per octave, and take it up to around 300 hertz. That's going to cut all that low end off if it's stereo. That's interesting. There is no side. Ah, we don't need to do that then. So you can see that the graph is empty, so there is no side. It is mono. We might want some stereo here. So I believe if we say, let's see, amplifier, pan mod LFO2. Let's change that to stack index. And if we actually bring that up, that should change the panning some, add some stereo. Oh yeah. I didn't do this in the pilot track. So, okay. So now we're going to see some, yes, okay. And that, if that bass has a lot of stereo, that can really screw with your ears, truthfully. And we'll go ahead and boost the sub bass a little bit since we cut it from the side. And on the side, I'm actually going to go and boost some of that stereo-y sound. Real fast now. I'm going to take this just flat note here, And I'm looking at my notes here, but I've got, take this up to F, duple loop. I'm going to duple that loop. Go to A with this one. Duple loop again. I'm dupling up. This one goes to C. So F, A, C, A. Yep. And then F, A, F. No, that's wrong. Hold on. F, A, F, C. This one. There we go. Duple loop again. F, A, F, C, F, E. This one went to E. F, C. F, A, F, C. F, I'm sorry. F, A, F, C. F, A, F, E. Like so. Okay. And duple loop again. And that second one, I went F, A, F, C, F, A, E, and then I went to an E2 up here, all the way across. So that's what I did in the pilot track. So the attack might be a little low, actually. I'm going to just adjust this some. Maybe not. Maybe we don't want that release. Sounded pretty killer to me. I like that. All right. Okay, so that's a pretty good sub bass with Diva. And man, Diva is really easy to work with and get some amazing sounds. So hopefully you've got a demo of this to try it with me. But anyway, that was the sub bass. In the next tutorial, I'm going to look at pads. We're going to add some pads and add a little bit of a progression. And I think that'll do it with our sub bass. We can always automate this cutoff later. And just one quick little tip here. If 58s are kind of our default, well, let's just put that in parentheses here. That kind of helps you remember that that's your default value that you want to use. So I'll catch you next time for pads. Hope you found that helpful. See you next time.